Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is Jonas. Reports for the 12th. Well, we were talking about the fact that we were in this continuation move and rising shakeout. Everything was looking clean from that sign under red. No surprise, we get the breakout to new highs. We could see that from the intraday, we were talking about this, the short cover rally that was taking place where MBI white, was rising during the same magenta over yellow. And that is a classic short cover rally. We've talked about it a million times, but we will talk about it a million more because is that relevant? This is what we saw in the NASDAQ. Continued rising pressure from shorts, but magenta still leading. And as long as that stayed the place, all those shorts got forced into coverage, and that's exactly what happened to them. So pretty clean. NASDAQ shows it even better and more precise in this particular case. And interesting, though, that we're looking at a potential separation, though, of the cyan to green. That would be more the negative. So it could mean that the bull rally went a little too far, too fast. So you could see some fill back into that if that maintains itself. Ideally, what you'd want to see is the greens start moving back up to overtake, and then you'd have a clean. Now, it is relevant because the steel dipping is short-term buyer reset, so that would be good because it actually means that you've got a whole new round. The fact that we're past, new fund money coming in and that, it's all relative. We can see a ton of money has been going into treasuries ahead of time, so everyone's waiting on the Fed for their, decision, and some people are concerned about slowing on the growth issues. So yeah, makes sense. But people pre-anticipating that as a short situation, that's where they get wrong. Jumping the gun. Oil reached zero again, but popped back up off that. It's still in a weak spot, but you can see magenta just rose over there, so we could see a little bit of oil rally. And from the euro, of course, still very excited. Everyone is so happy to be in euros because the dollar is going to nothing because the U.S. economy has somehow imploded overnight, and we just don't know it yet. And, there's always an argument for these things, but sometimes it just strains credulity, and you just have to wonder. And of course, the gold market has bet strong that there's going to be the strong devaluation. They can't be wrong on that one. I mean, you know what the debt situation is. It's not going to get any better. Nobody's doing anything about it. The Doge thing sort of has faded off the landscape, and then with all the legal problems, still working out whether or not all the stuff that they wanted to not spend money on is in the courts. It's like, can you imagine? You don't want to spend the money, but you're being forced to. Crazy stuff. So Bitcoin rallying on that along with gold. Not so much, lacking the excitement. Was more move out of ETH, proportionally speaking. So, that bifurcation is still going on. It doesn't matter. There's still becomes an alternative place to not face the devaluation of fiat currencies. From our 50K standpoint, it was perfect. We saw the short cover rally building right here. This is what I was talking about. MBI white leading, but magenta staying above yellow. It continued to stay above yellow even with the white spike. And yeah, boom. And took advantage of that very setup right there. And then once the breakdown started, pretty clean. Still not a super strong situation there from a short viewpoint at all. And you can see complete reset here of the steel, the dipping below, a little bit of weakness from that. But if short-term buyers come back into it, that's your next wave to push back up. So it's already pre-built into the setup from a slight recovery standpoint, and this is what it was early in the day, and then it was just straight across. So any put buyers were just hammered off that from the other day. The European, actually Asian session first, they filled back in just to take a lot of that off the buildup, and then European session here in the final bit, they're running it up right before the open to the U.S. That's the long and the short of it, but very significant in that development because I think that was pretty clean to show, and that's important to see. As always, anything relevant, I will let you know on the team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.